Another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, your host, and international award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. I'm so pumped up to say that, and I'm also pumped up for this episode because the person we are going to be talking to tonight has gone from rock bottom to building a badass brand. And this is all about the success secrets of living within your genius. And I want to say your genius because, yes, we all have genius within us. But so my background is when I was 17, I spent 2.5 months in a coma and 3.5 in the hospital. And I was told I wouldn't walk again, but guess what? I am. And I am here to show you guys and everybody else that things are possible. And you don't always see the same things on social media. You see people that look like they're always winning, but we're trying to prove that's not true. Life isn't like that. I believe that we have to grow through things instead of just go through things. So I know personally that we do grow through things. So we're going to be talking to Stacy tonight about this. Hey Stacy, how are you doing?
Absolutely amazing. Thank you for having me on today.
No, I love that attitude, and thank you so much for sharing this with your people and highlighting that people out there have genius within them.
They do.
So I know personally that there are often things that we have to grow through. Now, I think if we just go through things, we stay stuck in a negative cycle and repeat the same things over and over and over again. And I don't think that is the best way to go about life. So I'm asking, has there been anything that you have had to grow through?
Yes. Some big, big, juicy things for sure.
Well, can we hear some of those big juicy things?
Yeah. Do you want me to do we want to do the intro first or later?
Oh, I got thrown off tonight. I'm sorry. I was
It was
trying
our
to.
conversation before. We had such a long conversation. It was
I
so
know
fun.
it's that I was trying to make it to do all kinds of things before the show to make this where everybody could comment on it
I
that
love it.
everybody could see it. I was trying to do a little bit of everything, and that didn't work for me. So, if you would like, well, I ask you if you would go through a short introduction about yourself, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you do. I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Stacy Rasky, founder of Influential. Everything, first coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, which is home. I love it, especially now that it's starting to cool off a little bit. But everything about my mission and purpose in life is about helping purpose and impact driven leaders impact more while doing less. So it's all around performance optimization, profit optimization, and we are a systems and automations agency. So it's all about
Wow.
monetizing your message with ease on autopilot so that you can impact more. So, hello.
Yes.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, that sounds freaking awesome. And
Thank you.
I actually had the thought before we started this show when you told me about the stuff that you're doing that we need to talk more
Yeah.
because I need to get some of that.
Yeah.
But we'll do that after the show.
Okay.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Heather. Hi, Casey. It's good to see you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining. But I ask you guys if you would please share this episode out. Invite all kinds of people to watch it. Don't forget to give us all kinds of thumbs up and hearts. Don't worry about the other stuff. We don't want that.
Share the love.
Yeah, share only the love. And then please keep the comments coming. We want to have more of a conversation than make a presentation. So ask as many questions as you would like. Comment with all your takeaways. We would love that. But now back to what I had asked previously. Has there been anything in your life that has tried to stop you from growing?
Oh, yes. I would say the simplest answer to that is the biggest thing that ever stopped myself along this journey was me. And that was 10 years ago was the last time I was suicidal because I hit my absolute rock bottom. I had gotten out of the army. I'm an Iraq War veteran. I had gotten out
Thank you
of.
for your service.
You're welcome. I had gotten out after being hurt in Iraq. So I was medically discharged. And even though I kind of disrupted the should pathway by joining the army at 22, when I got out, I was like, oh, now what? And I went back to what I was always told I was supposed to do, who I should be growing up, get the corporate job, buy the house, do the cars, do the safe things that you should do. You get married, have the family, the dog, the cars, all the things.
All right, time out. I have to point out something right now. So Tony Robbins has this thing. He says, stop shitting all over yourself.
Yeah, stop shitting. Stop
Yeah.
shitting all over yourself.
Yeah. So, all right. Sorry, just had to point that out.
No, you're fine. So ultimately, 10 years ago, I realized when I hit this rock bottom that I built this life, and what was missing from it was me. The American dream had become my prison. And over that decade, over that
that's
decade,
a tweetable, as my friend Terrence would say.
tweetable moment.
The American dream had become my nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Also love that.
So good. And when I realized that over that decade, I was building the should story, what I was doing was self-medicating with food, alcohol, work, all the different things, to where I ended up massively overweight, extraordinarily kind of falling apart in terms of my health. I was so sick. I was walking with a cane. I lost my corporate career. My marriage was falling apart. And ultimately, I hated myself. And so out of the rock bottom moment, I received the lesson that I'm done trying to control anything other than myself. And yeah, like a light switch. It was like a light switch too. I woke up the next day and I was completely different. And everything that I was doing before that moment was all about curating this external experience. And the missing piece was me, and especially the relationship I did not have with myself. And so, like, from that new reawakening and moving forward, I started working on building a relationship with me, building structure, safety, consistency, a conversation, and getting to know me. And along the way, really tapping into what's my genius and focusing on sharing my genius and my story with the world to empower and elevate others.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I like the way you say that we all have our own genius, because I think a lot of people don't think they're genius because the IQ test doesn't say they're a genius or something simple like that. Somebody has told them that they're not a genius and they have trouble reading, but they don't know that there's different genius inside them.
Yeah.
And all right, so I have a thing that I talk to people with what everybody calls disabilities. Now, this one day I was talking to this guy named Glenn, and we were sitting in a classroom because I was at their school, and I was talking to him, and I knew Glenn played basketball, and I argued with him for a minute. Not argued, but I disagreed with him for a minute because he was talking about something as a disability. And I'm like, all right, Glenn, let me ask you a question here. You play basketball, right? I told him I can't play basketball. I can't shoot like you. I can't dribble the ball like you. I can't run up and down the court like you. You see, I told him that these aren't sweet. No. So I said to him, so does that mean I have a disability because I can't do those things? He thought for a minute. I could see the wheels in his head just a spinning. And his like face turned to a smile. And he's like, no, those aren't disabilities. He said, those are different abilities. And I'm like, wow. You just got to that point out of what I said. And that just made my whole day. That made my whole month. That it was just amazing that he saw himself in a different light after what I had said to him. He just that makes my whole job worth it.
100%.
Yeah. So I have to ask. You said that you learned a lesson from this stuff that you went
Mhm.
through. Now, I am someone that believes that there are lessons in everything. I
Mhm.
think everything that we go through, it has a lesson in it. A lesson that we need to learn in order not to go through that same situation in the future. Is that something that you find is is that it's true?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And even with the lessons we learn, there's new levels to the same lesson in every time we grow into the next season or the next version of ourselves. So, from my lesson of, all right, I'm going to stop controlling anything other than myself, that first step was very, very, very small. And so I still had a lot of control issues I had to learn to work through. It was like the first step was just taking control of something. And that first thing was, okay, I'm going to take control of what I put in my body. Then it was adding another thing and another thing. So it's allowing not only the lesson to be the seed, but then to allow that to, really blossom in the garden of who we are in our soul and develop into the beautiful, amazing tree or plant or bush, whatever that is for you, the fruit of all the work that we do to allow ourselves to, you know, share our genius with the world.
Yes, that is so true. So, how soon was it that you were able to actually see the lesson within the thing that you were going through?
Well, if you want me to share, I can share my before photos really quick if you'd like. I think they're
Oh,
in the back here if you want to add them to the screen.
Are they of you?
Yeah, that's me.
So I'm not going to complain about showing pictures of you. All right? This second.
Yeah. Yep. There I am. Most people don't even they have to understand the context. They don't believe this was me. And you can see even the one with the food that I'm eating, that's 2013. So that's 12 years ago. And really, this continued until right at the end of 2014. And so this is really, really, really powerful because it's once I made that decision, it's the power of receiving the lesson and making a choice. When I made the choice to say, yep, okay, I'm done with this old story. I'm stepping into who I'm called to be. The weight, the health, the issues were all this physical manifestation of what was happening inside, the emotional and spiritual burden. So when I focused on taking control of me, the weight melted off. I didn't lose it. I released it because it never came back.
Wow. See, now that is powerful. Now, one other thing. Well, first of all, I need to say hello to a few people here. So we actually have Holly Johnson in the comments saying there's new levels to the same lesson, 100% on point. So thank you, Holly. We have His Royal Highness Clyde Rivers, who is a king of I forget, but he is a economic king of some African country. I'm sorry, Dr. Rivers, I forget. But we also have Ben Bruce in the comments, who is joining us from right now. He's in the Seychelles, so African country. And then we have Amy, who's here. She says hello. Thank you so much, Amy. And then we have Adam, who is here, and he is from the UK. We also have Jeremy Jones, who's watching from my hometown. He was a friend, one of my best friends when I was little. We also have Karen Saddam, who is from this area. She was just in one of my speaking events. And then we have Damon Huber, who is a high schooler in my town that was in one of my events when he was in 6th grade. And then we have Amy Hickey, who said she's starting a mental health company. So thank you guys so much for joining tonight. I hope you enjoyed this. And remember, the show is about you guys, not us. So I want you to take something away from this. But I did notice in the beginning, you said that, I can't remember how you phrased it, but you basically said that you were the cause of your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think a lot of people are the cause of their own problems,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think people really actually realize that.
Mhm.
How did you come to that point?
You know, it really came from the voice that spoke to me that night of the rock bottom. It was, you know, I obviously you saw my health. It was in shambles, and I had another fight with my husband, and I just stormed into the kitchen and I start grabbing food from the cabinet and I'm just shoving it in my face. And it was just one of those moments where I'm shoving it in my face. I'm chasing it with a bottle of booze. I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm just wondering, like, what am I doing? Why the hell am I even here? And I actually said it out loud. I was like, what the hell am I doing? And for the first time in a long time, the voice actually responded and said, oh, honey, you are just trying to look as ugly on the outside as you feel on the inside because you hate yourself. And oh, you made this.
Wow.
And that was a slap from spirit to take responsibility for myself.
Wow. That is powerful right there.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
how can other people see the flaws in their ways, or how can they recognize that they might be the problem in their situation?
Well, we have a role in everything. Everything that
Wow.
we experience, there's a part of it from ourselves to the end of our bubble. We own this. So every interaction with another person, it does not matter what they do. You cannot control anything outside of your bubble, but you can control everything inside your bubble. And it's amazing how even looking at how someone else treats us, it's easy to be like, well, they did XYZ, which validates my reaction. But I control my side. There is zero excuse for my behavior beyond what I chose to engage in. However, we have to understand when we're functioning from the past, we are reacting. So when we're trapped in the loop of old stories and patterns and programs, and that is tight. That is why we are constantly having an interaction that creates a trigger to something old memory, old experience, old trauma. And we bring that into the present moment, and that drives our behavior. And we have to understand that even if that behavior has zero relevance to your success moving forward, your subconscious and your body, most importantly, are in fight or flight. So your body is literally protecting you from what it deems as a stressful, traumatic situation, even if all it is somebody coming to you asking you a question when you're maxed out for the day. It's why we overreact in the moment. Until you learn how to manage your stress response in your nervous system, you will always be trapped by the past. And so I had to understand it was my nervous system. I had to learn how to create safety to start to disconnect and start to be in control of my behavior, because you're not going to lead with your mindset. Mindset is a result, not a starting point. We get too stuck in the, I'll wait for motivation, or I'll wait for mindset, or I'll wait for some other condition. Anything outside our control is an excuse. They're all justifiable. They are all justifiable. However, that doesn't absolve us from making choices and taking ownership of every thought, feeling, emotion, action.
Wow. That
And now I'm done with my TED Talk.
that gave me chills right there.
Oh.
So you're talking about a TED Talk. What's up with that?
Oh, well, I was making a joke of just because I had my little sermon moment.
Yeah.
Like, and there's my TED Talk. But yes, I am doing a TED Talk.
And when does that come out?
Well, we are doing them live October 13th, but
October
I don't
3rd.
know.
It's the day after my birthday.
Well, early happy birthday.
Early happy birthday to me.
My birthday was on September 3rd. So
well, belated happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So but when those get released online and the YouTube and the videos and all of that, I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen. So,
well, but okay. So I also know that you have written a book. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Be a boss and fire that bitch.
Potty mouth.
It's quiet your inner critic and finally believe you're good enough. So to see that before photo, and then people meet me now, and the identity, the energy, the soul of who I am is so radically different. People have a hard time understanding that was my before, and they're like, well, how did you do it? Well, I changed who I was being in my life. But here's the practical step-by-step guide in my book on how I did it.
Yeah.
Here's the steps to learning how to create boundaries and respect your boundaries, to release the emotional baggage, to create routines and the structure and the consistency that we need to create that safety.
Yeah.
So, among other things, there's a lot more in there than that, but it's really, these are the things that worked for me. So for those of us who are the type A, high performing control freaks, as the expression of our nervous system response, because it's fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, will create all of the different control issues that we express. And all it is our nervous system trying to create some type of safety when we're just maxed out and stressed out.
Yeah. So, all right. Do you happen to have any contact information you would like people out there to have? And if not, that's totally okay too.
Yeah. No, the easiest spot to go to is stacyraske.com. It's kind of that central hub, the Linktree style hub to all the things we're doing. So some of the freebies, the books, the different ways in which we serve our clients, or events I have coming up where I'm speaking, all kinds of goodies, all the socials, the YouTubes, all the things. So that just makes it easy.
Woohoo!
And then my second book's coming out too. Not too look. Yeah.
So we have to find out about this, please.
Yeah. So, you can't follow up a cool, badass title like Be a Boss and Fire That Bitch with just something lame. So the second book is Balance Your Badass, which is how to stop managing time and live a leveraged life. So it's beyond peak performance. It's truly about stepping into the realm of managing your energy. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. So,
yes.
How can people get a hold of the books if they want to?
So, Amazon.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Amazon.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry.
You're managing a lot. I love that you're stepping into this next realm of more technology and more engagement and doing all the things. So great job.
Well, I'm sorry. I just started the intro over again, and in the end of the show, I don't even know how I did that, but I got it stopped. So
there you
that's
go.
a good thing.
All good. See, we're just, keep double checking the heartbeat.
Yeah.
You're still alive.
Yeah.
You made every second count.
Yeah. So I know we're like out of time now, but what actually does make every second count mean to you?
It is about living a life of intention and fulfillment by being deeply present in the moment and recognizing that every moment is a gift. So allowing it to be of service to everyone else too. Like, it's not, the more I can be my best, be in the moment, the easier it is for me to share the message and be of service to the world in the way that I'm called to. Because I wouldn't have the gift of this life right now if it wasn't divine intervention and, God's purpose for me.
Wow. That is so true. I appreciate that answer right there. That's amazing. So I have to say, Stacy, you have made this show great just by your couple of rants there. And you're changing the slides in the background. I see you doing that right now.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I just
took
got
it
rid of
off.
it. We're fine. We don't
All
need any
right.
more.
All right, cool. Well, I need you, Stacy, and everybody else out there to do me a favor this week, next week, and for the rest of your life. I need you to make every second count. Why? Because you never know when those seconds will run out on your one life. I'll see you guys back here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, have a fantastic week. Thank you again, Stacy. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.